Hello everyone. I wanted to do a short video and talk about the multi-tool. Talk about putting it together when you get it. Some of you got yours, you've already know what to do with it. But basically you have two sets of Allen set screws. And you put your bit in there. This one's mine. Been starting to make some out of brass, which I like working with brass better than the aluminum. Basically I snug that one to where it starts touching. Come around to this side, snug it down to where it touches, and about 1/8 of a turn. That's all you need. And then on the bit, whatever length you like to have it out, preferably closer to here, as long as you keep it from bending your copper nail. But basically same thing, go to where it touches, come over to this side, touches, and just give it this copper. You can go a little more, about 1/8 of a turn. And then as you use the copper bits, you're going to have to come back and tighten these up, especially if you're doing some really hard flaking. The copper with the steel set screw, it'll wear a little more, and you just need to tighten it up a little bit. But that's your multi-tool. Same thing with the brass heads, the bopper heads. With the percussion and the movement, the steel actually, so you may have to come back and tighten these up a little bit. So that's that. The second part of the multi-tool, which this would be actually the multi-tool would be back here, because technically there's just one set of screws. That becomes the back of an Ishi stick, if you choose to use it that way or have one. But it has some nice flex to it. May not be able to pick it up, but it flexes. It has some snap to it. Same with the 3/4 inch Delrin that I've been using. It has a little flex to it, same length. Of course, this is adjustable because the rod is your standard 3/8 inch rod you can get from Home Depot, wherever, Lowe's. And you can adjust that in here and also here to get shorter or longer. But I like it where my hand is here and then this part goes right against my arm, just like that. That's how I like to hold the Ishi stick. So basically, if you already have one of these, you're not far off from having an Ishi stick. And it's the same thing, you just screw it down to your rod. And also you can do copper. Copper doesn't flex as good at all as the 3/8 aluminum. And then basically this is a 1/4 inch bit, a standard 1/4 inch rod, copper rod. I like that on some long flakes. Same thing, tighten those up. And the hand pads, I like to have 2 of them. A large slot and then a more narrower slot. Larger slot when I'm wanting to drive big flakes and the piece is big, and then once I get smaller, then I got options this way or that way. So that's the hand pads. And then of course you're going to need a file to file your certain platforms that you want to come off of. So basically I'm going to show you how I use my Ishi stick. I took some paint. I don't know how it's going to work, but I painted this side to see if we can see the flakes coming off. Between here and here is an inch and a half between this point and this point. And this edge is kind of above center a little. This is real close to center line, and then this right here is well below center line. It's hard to tell, but so we're going to kind of take some different flakes with the Ishi stick, and it's really helped me thin pieces preform. It's really helps me get it thin and close to being ready, you know, for need to take a couple more flakes, but close to being ready to make a point and start notching. But this has been a big game changer for me. And let's go. We'll get the wide one out. But we'll take a flake and basically talk about the tip a little bit. Whenever I sell them, I always dress the tips up. But I like a pointed tip, which I do it on the belt sander, so that's why it's rounded. But if you had something where you just had 4 facets, you know, square, but then made it to a point, and then on the very tip, it's flat, like if you knocked your pencil lead off. That's basically what I go for. And then it's not smooth here. I take and grind that a little bit. And I've been really focusing on keeping this good, making sure, which you guys can see the dang, I ground the hell out of that, making sure my platform is well ground. Let's go. But like I said, I put the back of this on my arm, so that's your. And another thing too is this helps with pressure flake. If you're pressure flaking with just your wrist, which fatigue after a while, man, you know, you guys know your fingers are wore out, they're tired, and then your wrist and thumb. But this really helps too, because when I do small pressure flaking, I'll even do it with this. Alright, so let's go. I'm going to zoom in for you. Alright. So basically what I do is put the tip, look to make sure where I'm going to take one. We're going to start here. I usually keep the working edge about a 1/4 inch back. I start with my tip on the platform where I want it, and I'm kind of pushing it a little bit, but you're going to use your leg. Your right leg is and your left leg, and you're going to help yourself squeeze. But you're going to set it there. Get your Ishi in your arm. And then I'm a little pressure in, and I'm just going to, sometimes I might do a quick snap, but generally it's just a build up. Let's see if we can see that flake. There we go. Yeah. It's shiny, but, and that's the flake. So that was close to 1 inch. That was about 7/8. I don't think there's any left off of there, but we'll take another one here. We will go about right here. Little build up, build up, build up. Hit it. There's your second one there. Now that one ran all the way to there, right there. So it went over 1 inch because, like I said, this is a 1 inch to this edge is 1 inch. So it went all the way to here. So that went a little farther. The guys that do the fog napping, this is their technique. Then we'll run another one. Make sure I'm in, but basically put it there on your platform. And I don't know if you guys can see the edge, but you won't see no grinding on the top. I'm not putting the tool on top for this here. Sometimes I do if there's something sticking up and it's not this is more kind of final fin, I don't know, final go, but basically put your tool there, make sure your tip's good, it feels good. Where's my grinder? I don't have my file. I usually use a file. And that way the file makes little scratch marks. I run this tip perpendicular, parallel with the file, and puts lines on there. It helps me when I go like this, it helps me hold it. So let's do it again. Pressure, boom. That one kind of released a little early. I think I hit the camera with my hat. But that one released a little early, but it did travel all the way across there. I'll turn my hat around. Hush! We'll do another one. Oops. That way you guys can see that platform right there. That's where I'm aiming at. Put it about in the middle of the pad. Put that on there. And also too, you can zoom in, and if you pinch the screen with your fingers, you can zoom in on this. Put it on there. Pressure. My legs are starting to come in, and my wrist is inside my thigh. I don't know if you can see that. It's part of my leg, my right hand, and my left hand too is inside my leg. So you got all those things helping you. Boom. And there it went. I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to run this edge. Now we're getting to where I'm starting to get a touch below center, so these are not going to be that easy, because it's real flat. I'm really way above, or excuse me, below center line. Technically, if this was a final pass, I would address that edge to where that edge was flat. There we go. But if you can run, flakes, let's see, that one didn't. There's paint right there, so that one went and stopped out. But it's kind of, we'll see what this one does. But if you can run them that far, you can actually do some pretty good thinning. You know, if your point's, say, you know, a couple inches wide. And that's it. Now, some of these aren't going to, like I said, these are super way below center. And plus, it's not dressed very good, but you can see. See the flakes? That edge is way down here. Way down here. Shouldn't even be coming up this way with anything yet. But that's that. And that's pretty much has helped me tremendous. Now this piece ain't even close to being thinning, but I just grabbed it. It was one I broke going down to it, but that's it. That's the multi-tool turned into an Ishi stick with one more handle. And then, you know, you can go get you a 3/8 rod, or I have them available too. So that is that. And I do like it. I do. It fits nice right here. And then this, it's like curved to this. It's skinnier here than it is there. So that way it fits right there. Right on that muscle. And there you go. But I thought I'd share that with you. Maybe that'd help you guys. And like I said, the doing these bifaces and preforms, I did not use any indirect. I used a 3/4 inch bopper when I needed to do some thinning, but most of it just this one's still kind of thick on the front, but just using the Ishi stick and direct percussion. And I've never ever gotten obsidian this thin without breaking the damn things. It's kind of a triple, but this is just basically a biface. But that definitely has helped me. Maybe it'll help you. We'll see. But yeah, this is all with bopper and Ishi stick. So if I can do it, 100% anybody watching this can do it. Because obsidian was my nemesis. I was too rough. It was it's whatever, but just slowing down, making sure the tool tips are taken care of, making sure my platform is well prepared, and also at least center line, you know, if not a fuzz above is better, but you know, having a nice center line before the last pass and all that. So you guys take care. Hope it helps.